Ning, 21 years old. He won the gold medal. In this event, the floor exercise with a perfect score of 10, Bart. Not only that, was voted China's best athlete of last year. Over 1.6 million people in the People's Republic voted for Li Ning, a most personable athlete.
Really nice guy, Dick. You know, he's also an outstanding athlete. I think if all of us, the top 20 gymnasts in the world, got to discuss who their favorite athlete would, it'd have to be Li Ning. Here's his mount. Full in, full out. That's a double twisting double back. Fantastic. Only a few gymnasts in the world that can do that. Round up back handspring, pike double back, nails the landing. I think one thing, the reason why I appreciate him so much is that he's so explosive, and yet he's always in control.
The rotator cuff injury doesn't seem to be affecting him on the floor exercise.
He's handling it far. He did nice flare circles. Here's the press to handstand through a planche position. Takes a great strength. Form's so tough, and yet at the same time he's relaxed and loose. He seems pretty at ease out there. Of course, this baby, he's the champ here. The last run should be a double back. Nice. And Colcock the landing. Fantastic.
Floor exercise, one of his best.
Okay, here's tumbling run. There's only a few gymnasts in the world that do this double twisting, double back. He takes off, full in and full out. He goes almost completely out of frame.
He was hoping to become the first Chinese gymnast to win the all-around in the American Cup. It won't happen for him, though.
Notice the control on the lander for the double back. He's way up in the air, turns over twice, starts to look for the ground, and just pants the landing.
Well, we're only seeing him in 3 events. That's why we won't see tomorrow, but what a treat it is. And the score for Li Ning, 9.85 in the floor exercise. This is the first rotation for the top American hope, Tim Daggett, on the pommel horse. He won a bronze at the Olympics with an impressive showing, 9.9. And this is his first big meet since the Summer Games.
Tim's been doing a lot of exhibitions and shows with us, and so I know he's a little bit nervous to be in front of the judges again. A single pommel work. So far, it's a very clean exercise. Okay, now here's the famous flare work all the way across the pommel horse. Hop to the middle. Very nice work. All the way to handstand on the end. Great exercise.
I don't know what the scores are going to be, but I guess scores are going to be lower now, Bart.
Well, I think we should expect the scores to be a little lower than we've seen in the last few months. Of course, there were quite a few 10s at the Olympic Games, and the judges were concerned that maybe the gymnasts have outgrown the level of scoring. So the judging system was a little bit harder these days. Here's the nice flare work that he does. Notice the extension. He's traveling all the way across the horse without even touching the pommels. Back to the pommel, then hop to the middle, and then one more flare and back out to the end and finishing in a handstand. Right off the top. Very exciting size.
Tim Daggett. And a 9.7 for Tim Daggett in his first rotation. The first event of the American Cup for Mary Lou Retton will be the uneven bars. She won the bronze medal at the Olympics in this event. How does she feel right now, Bart?
I imagine she's pretty nervous right now. She hasn't competed this event for a while. Nice reverse heck, though. Good start. Sharp giant swings. And there it is, the Retton over the top. No problem. Oh, she bent her knees there. I don't know why she put that new trick in. Maybe she has to do it because of the new rules. There's a dismount. Okay.
I'm sure she feels a little bit better after that. You know, everyone says, well, Mary Lou, she can't lose, and she's with her coach, Bella Caroli, who coached Nadia Comaneci before he flew from Romania. Good to get the first one out of the way.
I think she's very relieved. You know, in the exhibition, she's been doing vault and floor exercise. She hasn't been on the uneven bars, so I know she's glad to get that one out of the way. Okay, here's the Retton flip. She's going to beat, do a front flip, lay on the top bar, then she goes over the top. She has 2 variations of that skill. She can either go over the top and do a forward hip circle, or she can go backwards and drop back to the handstand position.
And here's Mary Lou Retton scored 9.825. Mary Lou Retton on the uneven bars. Ning of China is in first place. Tim Daggett of the U.S. is in second, and Yueshan, who is now China's best hope for an all-round title, is in third. In the women's competition, they changed Mary Lou Retton's score to a 9.8. They rounded it off. She tied with Yuan of China for the lead, and Sabrina Ma, who got into this competition as a result of a teammate, right now is in third place. Ning, second rotation, the pommel horse, also a perfect 10 at the Olympics and a gold medal.
He has great extension on this piece of equipment. All single work, single pommel work. Good height on the scissors. Now look at the flare circles here. Look at the extension as he works without the pommels, then back up onto the pommels. Very nice work. Flare to a handstand, and off.
Is that why they called him the Ming Tower of Pizzazz in Los Angeles last summer? Perhaps.
Perhaps.
While we're waiting for the score, Mary Lou Retton warming up and getting ready for her first run at the vault. Ning on the pommel horse, a 9.7 to go along with his 9.85 in the floor exercise, competing in only 3 of 6 events because of his shoulder injury, and we will not see him in tomorrow's finals, but we're grateful to see him at least today. The first of 2 runs for Mary Lou Retton in the second rotation. It's the vault, the event that made her famous. Tremendous power, a perfect score in Los Angeles. It was the only way she could beat Szabo of Romania, Bart, and she did it.
Yeah, she nailed this vault. You know, this vault for so long has been considered one of the more difficult vaults for the men to do, and Mary Lou started doing it so easily, it made all of us guys sharpen up a little bit because we knew we had to perform it a little bit better. The girls were showing us up.
Mary Lou Retton's tied for the lead at 1 rotation, but keep in mind 8 will qualify for tomorrow's finals, which you'll see live here.
She's blasting down the runway. Nice ball. Layout Sahara.
Bella Carrillo giving her some advice after the first run.
Look at the speed in the run. Great the horse. And good explosion off the horse. Nice push. Perfect position. A little hop on the landing. You know, much explosiveness. It's hard for her to stick.
If you're Bella Carrillo, what to do on the second run, what would you tell her?
I think Mary Lou's going to do another vault, a handspring front with a half, or a cuervo. She's been working on both of those, and it looks like she changed the number, so she'll be doing a double front with a half twist. It'll be a completely different vault this time. Okay. Handspring, cuervo. Okay, a little bouncy on the landing, but it's a double front with a half twist.
Bella obviously liked the second one.
Okay, now notice the difference in the vault here. She comes onto the horse straight in a handspring position, pushes off, half turn, and then a back. It's called a cuervo. She can hardly control the landing.
Mary Lou got a 9.85 on her first vault. The higher score of the 2 vaults will go into the books. And a 9.8 on the second. So she'll take the higher score, which will be the 9.85 on her first vault. So Mary Lou Retton, 9.85 should not affect her standing atop. Second rotation for Tim Daggett. The floor exercise perhaps is the weakest of his apparatus, and I guess he's going to show us a new skill on the first pass. Bart?
Well, Tim has been working on a new exercise. You know, he's had some problems with his ankles. He's had them operated on. He's been beat up. He's had them sprained a few times. And so I know that when he gets through this apparatus, he's really pleased when it's over with. Okay, a pike double back. A little over rotation, but not a bad beginning. Okay, a front step out, on a fake handspring, tuck double back, good landing there. This is an amazing combination here. A straddle L, and then stall the roll to a wide straddle press to handstand. As far as I know, Tim's the only one in the world that can do that skill. Okay, handspring, front with a full. A little slip on the landing, but that is a new skill for Tim. In the corner, he hears the bell, which means 50 seconds. Gives him 20 more seconds to complete the exercise. Catch his breath here before his last run. Double back. One step on the landing, but a good, clean exercise.
The only member of the team champion American Olympic team that are competing here in the American Cup, 22-year-old Tim Daggett, Western Massachusetts.
Here's the beginning of his routine. He needs good speed into the takeoff for this pike double back. Round off, back handspring. Lift here, lay it back. It's like a tuck double back, but you straighten your legs, a little more difficult. And now here's the tuck double back for the dismount. It's very important that you try to nail the landing on this. Ning did earlier in the competition, and that'll help the score a lot. Pretty good lift. Nice landing. One step will only be 1/10 of a deduction.
The score for Tim Daggett on the floor exercise, 9.25. We've completed 2 rotations in the American Cup, and the standings show in the men's competition, Ning of China in first place, a tie for second with Yueshan of the People's Republic and Tim Daggett of the USA. So the Chinese are making their presence felt in the men's competition indeed. In the women's, Lou Retton at Square Arena, Dick Stockton along with Bart Connor. Nothing much has changed as far as the women's competition is concerned. Lou Retton continues to hold the lead, and Maria Roethlisberger is in third place. Yuan of China is in second. However, there has been a change in the men's competition because the Chinese Yang Yueshan has taken the lead. Dan Hayden, a 20-year-old freshman from Arizona State, is second, and Tim Daggett has fallen, and he fell as a result of some difficulty on the rings, Bart.
Tim was doing a front giant swing here. He got a little out of control, and he wasted a lot of his precious strength that he's saving up for his dismount right there. Tries the triple flip and pulls it over too far. A score of 8.95 really had to hurt him there.
And that dropped Tim Daggett. Now, Ning of China in the vault, the last event we would see him on in this competition.
He's outstanding. There's a laid out Kazumatsu with a full. Nailed the landing. Fantastic.
Only 3 events because of his shoulder injury. Ning, a real good one. But let's take a look at the other American on the rings, 20-year-old Dan Hayden from Amherst, New York, outside of Buffalo.
Dan had a very nice, clean exercise. Notice the nice positions all throughout the dislocates. Full twisting double back. 9.6. Great exercise.
Lou Retton has the lead as we get to the last rotation, the 5th, and this will be the balance beam, her weakest event in the Olympics. She was 4th place and had the lowest score on her way to the all-round title.
Okay, there we go. I know Mary Lou's a little bit nervous about this event here because if there's anyone that tests your nerves, it's of course the balance beam. There's her full turn. She gets that out of the way right at the beginning of the exercise. That is a requirement. Back handspring, back flip. Very nicely done. Now that's a new trick for Mary Lou. She needed to add a series of skills, and so she does a back handspring to a back flip. Nice combination and very well done.
She spent most of her time at practice yesterday on the balance beam.
2 very nice switch leg split leaps. And a punch front right on top of that. Very nicely done.
As we hear the music of the floor exercise going on, the veritable 3-ring circus that we have in gymnastics.
Another backflip, tuck backflip. Mary Lou seems to get in as many acrobatic skills as you can possibly get in one beam routine. There's a straddle planche, swing down. So far, everything is working very nicely. Here's her dismount. Round off, Tucktable back. Oh, okay, a couple of steps in the landing, but still a nice exercise.
Well, she's going to let her breath out after that. And it's a pretty good balance beam for Mary Lou Retton. She just has the floor exercise to go, and I think she's in comfortable position to have the lead going into tomorrow. By the way, the top 8 will advance to the finals, which you'll see live at 4 o'clock Eastern time. But they wipe the slate clean as far as their scores tomorrow.
Okay, here comes the double back. She has incredible height on this. A little too much rotation. These are the kind of things, if you're competing a lot, you learn how to really nail those. She hasn't been in competition, so she's just a little out of experience of putting those in there, but she was very happy to get through that.
Mary Lou Retton gets a 9-7 on the balance beam. That's the third of 4 events for Mary Lou and the rest of the women in this competition. Perhaps the surprise story for the men is Dan Hayden's showing. The 20-year-old is in second place right now, getting set for the parallel bars, one of his 2 best events, and he did very well at a recent collegiate meet at Arizona State.
Nice giant front uprise. Look at the extension, the straight line in his handstands. Very important to have that type of control throughout the exercise.
He has a twin brother who's also excels on this event.
In fact, last week they both scored 9.9 and tied for first place. Nice giant swings. Another one a little low. But look at the control in the back toss. Another one. Right on top of the handstands. Very nice. Yeah. Good double back.
Good showing for Dan Hayden, who was trailing Yang Yueshan of China by a 1/10 of a point.
Okay, now here's the back toss. Look at the position, control right on top. Good stutz. Great line in the handstand. Double back position is good. Nailed the landing.
So for Dan Hayden, his score 9-4, and that's what this event is all about for many people, getting the chance to show what they can do for the first time. Here's Yang Yueshan of China on the parallel bars, 19 years old, and he is our leader right now in the American Cup all-round.
He mounted with a trick that I was the first one to do in international competition, a English press to handstand, and then 2 giant swings, a giant blind change and another giant. Good work underneath and above the bar. Nice stutz. Good control on a back toss. Another stutz. This should be his dismount here. Double back. Very good exercise.
Well, Ning is out of the competition, but Yang Yueshan could come away with the title.
Here's his double back dismount. As he swings through, 2 flips, and a little hop on the landing.
Yang was third in the all-around in the American Cup last year. He has a 9-4. Our leader, Yang Yueshan. Underway on the horizontal bar is Tim Daggett, who has fallen to third place. He had that perfect score of 10 at the Olympics to give the U.S. the team title. Bart.
Here's a new trick for Tim right at the beginning. A reverse hecht. No problem. Okay, now stall her up, and he's going to do his other release move, the Ginger. Okay, it was a little close there. That'll be a couple 1/10 of a point for a deduction. He's a real go-for-it kind of gymnast. Every trick he does all out. Extension, the power, the speed.
He was planning a new release skill here.
Here's the dismount, a full twisting layout double flyaway, the one he used in the Olympics, and nailed it. Very nice dismount. Okay, here's the dismount again. Notice he's got a great deal of speed in the giant swings. He lets go, 2 flips, 1 twist, and starts looking for the ground. Drops it in just like he did in L.A.
He got a 9.35 on the vault, but here on the horizontal bar, Tim Daggett has a 9.55. So here at the American Cup, after 3 of 4 rotations in the women's competition, Mary Lou Retton with a solid lead. Huang Xun of China tied for second with Sabrina Marr of the United States. Another interesting story that's developed here in the American Cup. In the men's competition, China's Yang Yueshan has the lead of 1/10 over Dan Hayden, the 20-year-old from the United States, and 3/10 ahead of Tim Daggett, who is the top American favorite coming in. Hayden, this is his last event, and it's the one he does the best, the horizontal bar, and this is the most important competition of his career.
Look at this double flyaway over the high bar. Fantastic. You know, I've seen only a few other gymnasts try that skill, and most of us agree you got to be pretty nuts to even do it, but he does it very nicely.
Is he pretty nuts?
Better word for it is aggressive, I think. Okay, now he fell out of the handstand the wrong way on that giant swing. That could cost him a couple of tenths of a point at least. And a full over the bar. Nice dismount.
Stuck the landing, Dan Hayden. Just a tenth of a point outside of the lead, and he's got to feel real good coming into tomorrow's finals.
Okay, now notice this double flyaway over the bar. Tell me this doesn't look scary, Dick. He picks up a lot of speed. He does a double flyaway that normally is a dismount, does it over the bar, looking for that bar. Here it comes. Yow! That's got to be scary. I don't think I'd ever do it.
Dan Hayden with a 9.65 in the horizontal bar, his final event of the day. Our high scorer so far is Yueshan, the 19-year-old from China. This is his final event, the horizontal bar. We just saw Dan Hayden on the same apparatus. What can we expect from Yang here, Bart?
Dick, he is really great on this event because he does all the necessary things for a great routine. The release moves and the one-arm giant swings. He gets started with a stalder and a one-arm giant swing. A very nice Ginger. Good control on the release move. Okay, now, front giant to another giant with a full turn and full turn back. Fantastic work on one arm. I think I've seen anybody do 3 times around the bar in one arm. Nice full twisting double flyaway.
I think almost to a man and woman, the Chinese are really spectacular gymnasts, and they've shown it here today. Ning, of course, with an injury, won't be in the finals, but this guy will.
Now watch this one arm work. He does a forward giant swing, goes over the top of the bar, and around again. Now he's going to do a full turn, and then a full turn back the opposite direction. Great stuff.
And the score for Yueshan, 9.75. And he should maintain his lead and get to that final 8 with ease. Tim Daggett, all he has to do is make the final 8 to advance to tomorrow's live finals on CBS. He's in 3rd place right now, trailing the leader by 3/10. Final event, the parallel bars.
That's an original mount that he does, a stalder to a handstand on the side bar. There's a giant straddle cut around. Very nice work. Press to handstand. Now he'll do some above the bar swing work. Nice back toss. Okay. Hop pirouette. Good clean studs. This is very solid so far. Nice exercise.
Tim Daggett may not move into 1st place, but I'm sure he'd like to pass his teammate Dan Hayden for psychological reasons going into the finals, Bart.
Okay, here's the last couple of skills in his routine. Back toss, layaway front uprise, and a hop swing pirouette. Notice, off the bar, both hands. The studs right on top of the handstand. And then the double back. A little break in form, but he nails the landing. Great exercise.
Tim Daggett gets a 9.7 in the parallel bars, his final event of the first day of competition. We'll be looking forward to seeing him tomorrow when the final 8 go for the all-round championship. Comfortably in front of this competition in the first day is Mary Lou Retton, no surprise. And now the floor exercise. One of 2 perfect scores for her at the Los Angeles Olympics.
Of course, everyone remembers Mary Lou's outstanding tumbling, but she's introduced a new floor routine here. Sit back and see if you like it. Beautiful full in. Full twisting double back.
You said it drew mixed reviews last week.
It's definitely different. Completely new music. Her second tumbling run. 2 flip-flops to a double back. Fantastic.
It sounds like the kind of music that Eastern European gymnasts would use, wouldn't it?
Probably Bella brought the tape over from Romania. ready for her last run. Double back. Beautiful tumble.
What personality. That's what Bella says separates her from Nadia. Nadia won't raise her eyes, but Bella says Mary Lou does and plays to the crowd. Fine final performance for Mary Lou Retton, and we'll be seeing her tomorrow as well. Her first major competition since the Olympics.
And she's back. Everyone remembers how effortlessly she tumbles. Look at the speed here in the run. Fantastic momentum as she takes off here for a full twisting, double back. Plenty of time to nail the landing. Most people are pretty tired at this point in their routine, but not Mary Lou. Look at the lift and the extension. This is the final double back of the exercise. No problem. Looks like Bella's pretty pleased with it.
He's like a third base coach waving a runner around third. Happy Bella Caroli and Mary Lou Retton. And he told us yesterday, he says, you know, it's one thing to say, well, she's back, but you got to prove it. And the score for Mary Lou Retton is 9.825. Of course, I'm interested tomorrow to hear from you on why we won't be seeing a lot of those 10s anymore that we got used to at the Olympics. But a good showing and a fine floor exercise for Mary Lou. We completed all the rotations of the first day of the American Cup and the final standings in the men's competition. Yueshan of China with a 0.2 of a margin lead over Dan Hayden. Tim Daggett of the United States third, and all three, of course, will advance to tomorrow's finals. In the women's competition, Mary Lou Retton comes back with a blaze of glory. Silivas of Romania and Marie Roethlisberger of the United States third. So 2 men and 2 women are in the top 3 in both men's and women's competition. But as you know, the top 8 will advance to tomorrow's live finals on CBS, and we'll tell you who they are when we come back to Indianapolis's Market Square Arena in just a moment.
Are the qualifiers, the men's led by Yueshan of China, then Dan Hayden and Tim Daggett of the United States. Over on the women's side,
not a real strong push for her. She lands a little low.
And a 9.85 on the vault for Mary Lou Retton. Later on the uneven bars, another solid performance. But first, let's take a look at her second vault.
This one was a little bit better. Good speed in the run, but much better push off the horse. Notice the explosion, much better position on the landing.
And she had the same score on both vaults, a 9.85, so she picked up where she left off yesterday. The uneven bars, where she won a bronze medal at the Olympics last summer. Bart?
This is a great routine for her. She did very well yesterday on this routine, but she added a new skill that gave all of us a little wonder. What is she doing? She does a nice reverse hect. Good handstand position. She's going to do a giant swing. Okay, now beat the bar, and here's the Retton flip. Good rhythm in the skill. No break in the exercise. Yesterday here she did a soul circle. We couldn't understand why she did it. She took it out today, and this is a much better exercise. She is right on.
Her return to major international competition looks like a success. Mary Lou Retton looking for a third consecutive American Cup all-round title, the kind of action you'll see live today on CBS Sports Sunday. Turnout of over 10,000 fans here at Market Square Arena in Indianapolis, Indiana for the finals of the McDonald's USGF American Cup Gymnastics Championships. We have 8 finalists looking for the all-round title in men and women. Mary Lou Retton has a solid lead after 2 rotations of the 4 women of 0.3 of a point over Marie Roethlisberger, another American. Huang Xin of China also tied for second with Marie, but Mary Lou has the lead. But a much tighter battle going on in the men's competition, with China's Yueshan having a lead of 0.1 over Tim Daggett of the United States, with Koji Sotomura of Japan in third, and this is an important meet perhaps for Tim Daggett. Let's take a look at the vault in that 4th rotation just moments ago, an important one for him, Bart Connor.
Here's Tim's vault. He's doing a handspring pike front. You mentioned yesterday in the coverage, the judging is much stricter now. This vault doesn't get the same reward it used to. It's a good position, over over-rotated. He's got lots of juice today, lots of energy.
9.25 was the score for Tim Daggett, and he improved his performance. Tim Daggett, 22 years old, from West Springfield, Massachusetts.
He has great speed in the run, perfect extension off the horse, maybe just a little too much power as he over-rotates. It's hard to control that landing.
But that 9.25 hurt him. He lost his lead. He was in front of the men's competition, and the man who is in front is the Chinese competitor Yueshan. We're going to take a look at his vault also in fourth rotation.
This is a fantastic vault. It's full twisting Kazumatsu in a layout position. The important thing here was the great position, and he stuck the landing.
And he's got a terrific score, Yang did, of 9.60, and so we have a whale of a fight for the men's all-round title. Another look.
Look at the perfect position in the air here. Straight body, good line, and just nails the landing. That's what you have to do to score well.
So it's going to go down to the wire, apparently, as we have the fifth and the sixth rotations. And good afternoon again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton, along with Bart Connor, and we'll be hearing from Peter Corman. We have an exciting men's competition. Mary Lou Retton has given the fans all they wanted to see. Outstanding performance in her first performance since the Olympics in international competition. Now, in the parallel bars, we have that action coming up, and when we think of that apparatus, Bart Connor, the golden boy of the Olympics, it was last year when Bart scored a perfect 10 on the parallel bars to spark the United States men to the team championship at the Summer Olympics. And Bart Connor, of course, is here in another capacity today, watching some other gymnasts and perhaps seeing who else will wear the crown. Let's talk about the men briefly first. Tim Daggett. Tim Daggett, we saw Dan Hayden, another American. It looks like Daggett has a chance to come to the fore for the Americans now.
I really think so, and Tim has all the talent to be able to do that, but he hasn't had the international experience. Some of us have been on the national team 7, 8, 9 years. Tim has been on the team 4 years, but he has all going for him. I think he could really handle it if his body holds together. He's very explosive, and that's the kind of gymnast that is taking the forefront now, because the judging restrictions are very, very tight. You have to do the explosive and all the difficulty in gymnastics to score high, and Tim can do that.
This has been a good competition because a year after the Olympics, we're really seeing some of the headliners like Mary Lou Retton and Tim Daggett, people that want to come to the fore, and so we're getting a blend of both.
This is a real transition time, as I mentioned. Some of the new gymnasts are coming up to the forefront, and some of the old gymnasts are bailing out.
All right, we were talking about the parallel bars, so let's move to the fifth rotation. And moments ago on the parallel bars, here's how Tim Daggett performed.
This is a great exercise for Tim. One of the more solid ones. Notice the stall to the handstand. Good position right on top. Okay, here's a giant to a straddle cut around. Now, as we mentioned before, the judging restrictions are much tighter. That is what we call a D move. Originally, we've had A, B, and C moves in gymnastics. This year, they introduced the D move. D, I think, is for dangerous, Dick. I'm not sure.
So we won't be seeing the 10s we've seen in the past.
Well, the scores are generally a little bit lower. A great routine might score a 9.6 or a 9.7 here, as opposed to a 9.9 or a 10 that you would have seen in the Olympic Games. It's not important what the score is, but the exercise.
The only member of last summer's U.S. Olympic Championship team competing here. Others are leaving for other fields like you, and Tim Daggett hopes that he moves to the forefront.
Okay, here's the double back. There's a hop pirouette right on top of the handstand.
At Market Square Arena in Indianapolis for the American Cup Gymnastics Championships. The men's competition has been intense. Tim Daggett got a 9.75 on the parallel bars just a few moments ago, and right now he's with Peter Corman. Peter?
Thank you, Dick. Tim, unlike yesterday, you've had a near-perfect performance. You have one event left, the high bar. What's that going to be like?
Well, it's going to be a little scary. Every time you go to the high bar, because of the new releases that are being done, and I'm going to try to do 2 in a row today, and if I can pull that off, I think I'll be in good shape.
So you're going to go for it all. Good luck.
I'm going to go for it, that's for sure. Got to go 100% all out.
Back to you, Dick.
All right, Peter, thank you very much, and he's going to have to go for it, Bart, because Yueshan, who's 19 years old, who, by the way, finished 3rd in the all-round in the American Cup last year, so he's certainly no rookie to this kind of competition, and it's good to see Tim Daggett as aggressive as he is, and he'll have to be. That's what Yang needs to take over the lead.
He really needs to do a great exercise here because it is very close. And like I mentioned earlier about the scoring system, Yang does the very difficult routine, so he can do well in this type of competition. He has all the particular moves that he needs, the D moves, the new ones, that they award you for courage and dangerous skills.
American Cup began in 1976, actually to honor the bicentennial, and it has been a successful international competition since. And we know that Mary Lou Retton has a chance to win her third consecutive all-round championship. And there is Mary Lou, who's trying to make it 3 in a row. And the men's competition, of course, is wide open. Peter Vidmar won it last year, and after 4 rotations, Yang Yueshan had a 1/10 of a point lead over Tim Daggett. But Daggett, as you know, had a 9.75, an impressive performance in his parallel bar routine. And the Japanese performer Koji Sotomura, who has looked very good, is in 3rd place right now, but it looks to be a battle between the two, and right now Yang Yueshan on the parallel bars.
He's starting to water down the bars here. Every gymnast seems to have their own little technique on how wet they like the bars and how much chalk they like to have on them so they can get a good grip. He does some giant swings, as I mentioned before, and so he's going to get them real sticky so he can hang on through the bottom.
And of course what he does is that one-arm giant, which we don't see many people do.
No, in fact, that's one of the original skills that helps him score very well in this event. As we mentioned before, you need originality, you need virtuosity, and you need courageous moves, and he's got plenty of them.
How would you compare him to some of the other Chinese gymnasts? Ning, of course, who's been injured and unable to compete today.
Well, I think, in fact, relative to the rest of the Chinese team, he is going to be the new leader because a number of their guys, like Ning, has a problem with his shoulder, a rotator cuff, and Tong Fei has had lower back problems for years, and he's been one of their national champions. And so I think they're ready to have a turnover of new, young blood in Chinese gymnastics. And, of course, they've had so many outstanding gymnasts over the years. They have over 1 million gymnasts participating in gymnastics in China. So they have plenty of great athletes to choose from.
Of course, this is the time where you see the turnover occur in both the men's and women's international scene. Yang Yueshan is ready now for his P-bar routine.
Okay, there's a straddle L and 1 bar and an English press to handstand. Giant swing to a blind turn. That's a new D move. And then another giant swing. Very nicely done. Notice how smooth his exercise is. His body position is very nice. Making the skills look effortless. That's the trick in this sport. Nice double back. Fantastic exercise. Stuck the landing.
Keep in mind that Yang need 9-7 to retake the lead. We say retake because he was the early leader in this competition. This is the rotation out of 6. Of course, the men compete on 6 apparatus and the women 4. And we will await Yang's score, and that will determine our lead. But let's take another look at the dismount here, Bart.
Okay, notice the nice position in the handstand. He's right on top of it. Good swing through, and just hits the landing. That's the trick. You have to stick the landings.
Let's watch now to Tim Daggett's reaction. He intently is watching Yang's performance here. Yeah, it looks like he says surprisingly good, I might say.
It looks like, hey, coach, what do I do now?
Tim Daggett, of course, so badly wants to take over the lead for the American man, and he knows that he'll have to work hard and earn it. He's been a quiet, shy young man. USF American Cup Gymnastics Championships here in Indianapolis, and a fine crowd today. In the women's competition, after 2 of 4 rotations, Mary Lou Retton has a good lead over Marie Roethlisberger. Another American, Huang Xin of China, is also tied for 2nd. Now, Mary Lou is getting ready for the balance beam exercise. 9 weeks of intense training has paid off for her, obviously. The Olympic all-round champion, perfect 10s in the vault and floor exercise, captured the hearts of America. 5 months without serious gymnastics training, but it has been a tough 9 weeks. All in all, it has been a once-in-a-lifetime experience for the young girl from Fairmont, West Virginia, Mary Lou Retton.
She's a special. She's one of a kind. But I believe her personality is the one who makes her a really special person, a special athlete, and a strong performer.
When I landed that ball, I've been asked, do you know the impact that you had on America? I didn't have any idea. I was just so happy.
You only need to take one look at that shot when she's coming down for the perfect 10 and look at the look on her face, and she's communicating something that is quite extraordinary.
She was the darling of the Olympics, the toast of the nation, and these days she's moving in different circles, living in a Houston high-rise with an older brother, finishing her high school correspondence courses. It's as if her whole life has become one perfect 10.
I think that was the most thrilling part was meeting President Reagan. The President of the United States, and here I am presenting him the Olympic plays. I've met a lot of movie stars. But it's really weird because, you know, I'm going to these banquets and these events and I'm seeing them like, oh my gosh, there they are. And here, you know, they're wanting to meet me too. And I just can't really understand that yet. It's like, you know, I watched you. You were great. And, you know, like, oh my God, you're from Dynasty. You know?
So hello, Mary Lou, goodbye heart.
When she goes back home to West Virginia, the whole town comes out to see their sweet little Mary Lou. But her new address is really Madison Avenue because of her gold medal dream come true.
Oh, that was just my lifetime dream. You know, I went into the Olympics not knowing all of this was going to happen, wanting to just get my medal, you know. I really didn't think about any endorsements or opportunities or this or that.
She is one in a million. Mary Lou also has a unique ability to project her commitment to excellence, her desire, her spirit, both in personal appearances and on TV.
If you thought you saw a lot of Mary Lou last summer, wait till you catch her this summer. She'll be endorsing everything from hair-ins to leisure clothes. Why, she'll even have her own exercise program for kids on ABC.
The reason we chose Mary Lou Retton was very simple. Mary Lou is, in my view, to the 1984 Olympics what the U.S. hockey team was in 1980.
Get in shape, girl. It's so appealing.
As far as we were concerned, Mary Lou was the only person we considered. When we looked for somebody who was in terrific shape, who really the girls of America could look up to, there was only one name, and that was Mary Lou Retton.
Still, she considers herself first and foremost an athlete.
I still love the sport. I'm only 17 and I feel that I'm still young and I want to compete. And I feel that I can still improve myself. You can always add another twist or another tuck or another turn, or you can always, it goes to infinity.
She's no longer the little 14-year-old who left her family and moved here to Houston to study under the master, Bella Caroli, the man who coached Nadia to 2 golds. But now at 17, you have to wonder, can Mary Lou balance her dual careers?
Right now, she's in an excellent situation when she is keeping up with her preparation, working out exactly like before with extreme desire, dedication, intensity. And at the same time, she's fulfilling her contractual obligations.
Olga Korbut was always my favorite. She's very peppy and bouncing and smiling and had a very good personality, and that's kind of who I followed myself after. And now that, you know, I've been on both ends now I'm kind of the idol. Little girls looking up to me and asking me questions and wanting to be little Mary Lou's.
They come from all over to watch her compete, to watch her perform, just to be near her, it seems. One 12-year-old, Christy Phillips, even left her family in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to move to Houston, to study under Caroli, to pursue the dream that Mary Lou achieved.
My goal in life is to be the '88 Olympic champion. I'm going to work hard and I'm going to strive for that, because I want to be the best just like she was.
I wouldn't change my life for the world. I think that there's something inside of me that clicks when I hear the crowd and the music and the people. I get a lot of fan mail and gifts and all of that, but I really have no time to date. I'm working out in the weekdays, and on the weekends I'm traveling, either doing something, so I really have no time.
She says the commercial riches haven't spoiled her. Mary Lou's one indulgence, her little red Corvette.
I'm still floating on cloud 9. I cannot believe that I won the Olympics. That still hasn't sunken into me yet. And I kind of hope it never does. I really do.
And here is Mary Lou Retton getting ready to perform on her weakest event in the Olympics, and yesterday her lowest score. She had a 9.7 on the balance beam, but it was still the best on that apparatus of the other competitors. So if there's ever any time that she could falter, although she hasn't at all, this might be it.
Well, this will be a tough event for her, not only because she hasn't competed in some time, but she's doing a new skill in there. Because we mentioned the stricter judging requirements, she has to do a sequence of flips. She's going to do a back handspring immediately to a backflip. And this is new for her, and I think she can handle it, but it might give her a little trouble. Nice full turn. Now here we go. Handspring. Right on top of it. No problem at all, Dick. That was the back handspring back.
She said yesterday's return was a great confidence builder with a solid day. She had to be nervous yesterday, more so than today.
Yeah, she looks like she's relaxed now, and especially since she got past that new skill, I think she's home free. These are the kind of skills that she's done for years. Here should be the front. Right on top, no problem. Perfect tuck back. You know, it seems like once she gets rolling, it's hard stopping this girl because she gets the momentum and she really takes that energy and that strength to make every trick as perfect as she possibly can. So far, there's been very little room for deductions. Okay, here should be the dismount. Round up, double back. Nice job.
And a hug from Bella Caroli. And if the balance beam is her weakest event, Mary Lou Retton, I'd say, is just about back to Olympic form if she was ever away.
She looks very, very close to the same competition spirit that she had in the games in Los Angeles. And look at Bella. He's going from a coach to a cheerleader.
I think she'll get more satisfaction out of that apparatus than any other this weekend, wouldn't you say?
Yes, that was very nice. I know she thinks she's home free after that. Okay, here's the back handspring back. No problem. Plenty of rotation. Notice how high she finishes the skill. That's the trick, to do all the acrobatic work, landing right on top of the beam, straight up and down. Switch leg split leaps.
Live at the McDonald's USGF American Cup Gymnastics Championships, and we're anticipating an exciting finish in the men's competition. You see a dead tie for the lead with one rotation to go between Tim Daggett of the USA and Yang Yueshan of China, and Yang getting set for his final apparatus, known for his spectacular one-arm giants. His best event yesterday in the preliminaries, Bart Connor, it'll be the horizontal bar, and you know that Tim Daggett is waiting in the wings and watching what Yang's going to do here.
You know, this is always the most exciting part of the event because it comes down to this last event, and it just so happens that all of the risky skills are done on high bar, so you lay it all on the line. With these guys tied, I'm sure it's going to be very, very exciting.
Do you see more confidence in the eyes of Tim Daggett today from yesterday?
Yeah, I think he's relaxed a lot more, and I know that he feels very comfortable again. You know, it's really different when you haven't been in front of the judges for a few months, when you're doing exhibitions and you've been playing to the crowd. Now you have to play for every tenth of a point you can possibly get, and it's a whole different shift in attitude.
And of course, he is going to go after Yang Yueshan, and there is Yang right now. He had a 9.75 yesterday, and of course, Tim Daggett will tell you what he did. As you know, in the Olympics, he had a perfect 10. So Yang has the work cut out for him, tied for the lead, getting set for his final event. They're announcing the score for the previous event. Wang Shun on the floor exercise. Mary Lou Retton comfortably ahead, although you will see her on the floor exercise still to come in her final bid. Here's Yang Yueshan.
Yang does a great high bar routine because he has all the necessary elements in terms of one-arm work and release moves. Notice a great extension on the one-arm giants, right to a ginger. Okay, he was a little close. Might be a tenth of a point for form deduction. Now watch this, 3 times around the bar. One-arm giant forward, full turn over the bar, and half turn back. Okay, he didn't do it completely like he did it yesterday. It's a little bit of a mistake, but I don't think the judges will catch it. Nice full out, stuck the landing.
You got to stick the landing. That's a must if you're going to score well in the high bar, and Yang Yueshan did just that, and the appreciative crowd and a terrific turnout here in Indianapolis, the home, by the way, of the USGF. We're going to see it all again with that one-arm giant, unique for Yang Yueshan.
Okay, here's the start of the exercise. He stems up into giant swings. does what we call a Stalder, named after Joseph Stalder, a famous Swiss gymnast. Okay, now here's one-arm giant swings. Now notice as he does this Ginger, he's way up over the bar, but he's at a little close. Okay, so he has to break form. That's maybe a 1/10 of a point deduction. And he gets back in the giant swings. Now here we go. Forward giant swing. Over the bar again. A full turn. Now yesterday he did a full turn coming back out. Today he only does a half turn back out. But I don't think cause for alarm. Good position here in the giant swings. And here is way up over the bar, a full twisting double back. Good job on the landing.
And the score for Yang Yueshan is 9.65. That is a 1/10 of a second, or 1/10 of a point less of what he had yesterday. Tim Daggett's been watching it, and he's with Peter Corman right now.
Thank you, Dick. Timmy, you just saw a great routine. You guys were tied going into the high bar. You got a 9.65. What do you think?
I just got to go out and do my best routine. Either way, you know, I could fall off and the guy that was in third could have come in front. So I have to go 100% all out. You know, it's scary, but we got to deal with the pressure, that's all.
Now you were planning a double release move, a new skill for you. Are you still going to do it?
Oh, definitely. I can't hold back. That's just not my style. I got to go for it.
Well, good luck, Timmy.
Thank you.
Back to you, Dick.
All right, Peter Corman, Yang Yueshan, he's in the books with a 9.65, and Tim Daggett needs a 9.7 to win the all-round. And there's still Mary Lou one more time, coming back to Indianapolis just a moment. Indianapolis, Tim Daggett. That's what he needs to win the championship, the all-round title. He's one of the few remaining boys of summer, and it was an unforgettable night. July 31st, 1984 in Los Angeles. And on that night, 6 clean-cut young men that seemed to embody all that is good about America fulfilled a dream and made us all a little crazy, I guess, when they unexpectedly won the team gold medal in gymnastics. They were indeed the boys of summer.
Never will forget those nights. I wonder if it was a dream. Remember how you made me crazy.
America, we are still screaming for the boys of summer. Once unknowns, they are now more than just celebrities. They are the official ambassadors of the sport of gymnastics and heroes to millions of kids and grown-ups.
Something special happened this summer. A lot of times it doesn't get brought out. It wasn't just the gold medal. It wasn't just winning. It was a special feeling. I don't know if you were in Los Angeles. The people and the environment, the atmosphere was incredible.
And it was the neatest feeling, like what Timmy said. That it was the neatest feeling. And, you know, we would walk down the street the day before we had won and nobody would recognize us. Well, the day after we had won, we'd walk down the same street and everybody would recognize us. All of a sudden, we became American heroes.
Our heroes are in demand. There are movie offers and television shows. Music videos. Magazine covers and posters, black tie banquets, and Boy Scout suppers. And a grueling 23-city tour that packed arenas with screaming fans, most of whom had never seen a gymnast in person before.
I think all of us are pretty surprised at the demand for the gymnasts, and we find that we're all over the country all the time, and it seems like there's most of the time no rhyme or reason. You know, one day it's Los Angeles, the next it's Washington, the next day it's St. Louis, the next day it's Detroit.
The doctor said I was just mentally and physically broke down from all the traveling, and you know, I never really thought of it before, but I guess that's what happens.
Though dead tired, the boys of summer are outdrawing the biggest names in show business in Las Vegas. Last week, they drew the largest crowd for any show on the Strip so far this year. Not gamblers, but kids and their parents. Kids who witnessed something special last summer. Kids dreaming today of some distant summer of their own.
I just want youth to be involved in the pursuit of excellence. It's so important, and I think that that there is a little bit of a responsibility in being an Olympic champion to be a good role model. I think that every one of the members of the men's gymnastics team and the women's team were very good role models, I think, and we're all good people, and I think that we can really play a powerful role right now in helping youth.
There's a lot of kids running around saying they want to be a Bart Conner, or they want to be a Mitch Gaylord, or they want to be a Mary Lou Retton. And that's nice to have a goal to be an Olympic champion. But the most important thing is to succeed and take pride in the process, and all of those little steps along the way.
Never will forget those nights. I wonder if it was a dream. Remember how you made me crazy? Remember how I made you scream? Those days are gone forever. I should just let them go.
It's a long road from nobody to national hero in just one short night. It's an exciting path of bright lights and interviews that has brought the boys of summer to a crossroad in their own lives. For Mitch Gaylord, it's a question of identity: actor, gymnast, or teen idol.
I don't want to be thought of as only that, let's put it that way. But I want to be thought of as an accomplished gymnast first. I mean, that's what I trained 12 years for. None of us trained to become movie stars afterwards.
I had the meet of my life, and here it was after the games, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I thought, well, maybe in 2 or 3 weeks I'll be able to decide if I'm going to quit gymnastics or not. Well, it's been months and months since the games, and I still don't know what I'm going to do.
It's possible. It's not real probable, but I sure would like to make 3 Olympic teams. That would be fun.
The material goals, you know, winning a gold medal in the Olympic Games and just participating in them, you know, have all been taken care of basically. But I have things that I want to be able to accomplish still. That, you know, I still have some drive, I have some motivation, some desires. I want to be the best gymnast that I can be, and I know I haven't reached that yet. And that's the only reason why I'm staying in it.
And one of the things he can accomplish is the All-American or the all-round title in the American Cup. He'll have that opportunity a little bit. Mary Lou Retton, remember, she had a perfect 10 in the floor exercise in the Olympics, and you'll see her on the mat when we come back. Dick Stockton, Bart Conner, and Peter Corman. The American Cup Gymnastics is coming to its conclusion. And let's take a look at the standings first for the women. Mary Lou Retton, with still the floor exercise to come, has a comfortable lead over Yuan of China. Daniela Silivas of Romania is in 3rd place right now. And in the men's competition, we have a tie between Tim Daggett and Yueshan. Yueshan had a 9.65, and Tim Daggett has to beat that in his final horizontal bar routine to win the all-round championship. But recently, and just moments ago, Tim Daggett in the warm-up had some problems on the high bar, Bart.
Working on a new double release with reverse hect right to the ginger. He was a little too far out. Let's hope he's a little closer when he competes it.
Does that have any effect on him when you slip like that in the warm-up?
I tell you what it does. It changes your attitude a little bit. If you're too far out, you make sure when you're competing in the competition that you pull it in. So who knows? He might even be in too close. He might overcompensate.
Right now on the floor exercise, we're going to take a look at a newcomer, Daniela Silivas. She's 14 years old. And she's from Romania, 2nd in the all-round in the European Junior Championships. And people already are tabbing her. She's in 3rd place as maybe the successor to the great Ekaterina Szabo, who challenged Mary Lou all the way down the wire in the Olympics last summer.
Dick, does she look 14 years old to you?
I'm not a good judge of ages, Bart, to tell you the truth.
I tell you, we have a story going around the gymnastics community that it's pretty traditional that when a young Romanian girl is asked her age, she looks to her coach for the answer.
But Bella Caroli, who, of course, coaches Mary Lou and came from Romania, is very high both on Daniela and Camilla Voignier, who has been also in this competition. And Bella feels that Silivas, who he coached when she was 5 years old, has a great chance to be one of the best ever out of Romania.
I'm really excited we're having an opportunity to see her here. She did very well yesterday. And one thing they do with the Romanian young girls is they design the routines around the tumbling. They figure that they can learn to develop the mature dance skills later on, but learn the dynamic tumbling skills right off the bat.
Let's watch her. Well, I was going to say that was unorthodox music for the floor exercise routine, but these things happen, and they have a technical problem with the tape machine, and they're going to get it straightened out. I would have loved to have seen the look on Daniela's face when that music came out. Daniela Silivas of Romania. She's in 3rd right now, and coming up right after will be Mary Lou Retton. And we're talking about some new routines about that Mary Lou has incorporated on the floor exercise, and you're going to be a little surprised, I think, at the music she chooses for the floor ex.
Yeah, it is very unusual. In fact, a gentleman that defected with Bella and Marta Karolyi back in 1981, the choreographer for the Romanian team, his name is Geza Pozar. He's training and coaching in California, in Northern California right now, and he came back to Houston to give Mary Lou a new floor routine so she can introduce here in the last couple of weeks.
There is Mary Lou, who is, of course, cool and confident right now. I think that before yesterday, when all of the media were around her and they said, well, you're an automatic winner here, you're coming up from the Olympics, there's nothing automatic, is there, in gymnastics? You have to go and prove it.
Oh, no, I think that's what really kills all of us, is that so many people come up and they say, we knew you had to win and you're going to win all the time. Every time in this sport you have to prove yourself, because you have to go out there and do the routine and be consistent. Even though you might be the favorite, you have to do it every time.
Mary Lou is coming up next, and here's Daniela Silivas.
Okay, round up back handspring, full twisting double back, very nicely done.
She's got the crowd with her.
They love her here, and the crowd always appreciates a routine that's designed to allow the crowd to play along so they can clap and feel participating in the exercise. Fantastic triple twist. Nice full twisting back handspring. Who knows, Dick? In the first American Cup, of course, Nadia Comaneci was introduced to the American public. Maybe this is the next one, Daniela Silivas. Her last tumbling run. Round up back handspring, double back. Okay, fantastic.
She's already a crowd pleaser. Daniela Silivas, one to watch in the future from Romania, and could be the next in a long line of outstanding female gymnasts from Romania. Doesn't matter if she doesn't win here. She's made her point.
Okay, here comes the replay of her triple twist. You know, she tumbles a little bit over her head, which is only 4 feet 5. But nice takeoff. Really wraps that twist and doesn't quite make it all the way around, but she'll get it.
The coach for more than 20 years at
Now her dismount.
She finishes with a double back.
George, take a bow.
This is a very difficult routine. She has all the necessary tumbling. Good takeoff, pulls those legs around, no problem.
1976, Nadia Comaneci burst on the scene with her first championship. The all-around in the American Cup. The same year, Bart Conner won the first of 3 all-rounds in the American Cup. We're going to wait for her score. She needs a 9.45 to move up to 3rd place. This is after some 4 gymnasts had competed in the floor exercise, and this the final rotation. Of course, her friend from Romania, Camelia Voignier, still will compete. I don't think it matters. I think we're going to see this young lady in the next few years, don't you?
I definitely do. And the Romanians have always had very, very strong individual girls. And I think this might be our next Abo or Nadia Comaneci.
That's her score, and a good one. 9.70 for Daniela Silivas, currently in 3rd place and challenging 2nd. And now, the next woman you're going to see will be Mary Lou Retton. Interestingly enough, Silivas had sort of a Western kind of style music, and Mary Lou will have an Eastern European style. And right now, Peter Corman is with Bella Karolyi, Mary Lou's coach. Peter?
Thank you, Dick. And Bella, Mary Lou's had an outstanding performance, a great balance beam. What do you think?
It was the best ever. I'm so happy because, you know, it's a new exercise with a lot of new skills and performing strongly. That was great, you know, to see her. That was excellent.
And we have a new floor routine to watch, too.
Right. It's coming up right now.
Is this going to be the best ever for Floor, too?
I hope. I hope. You know, she did very, very well yesterday, and hope, you know, she's going to repeat again the same good manner and just, you know, very impressive style. It's a new floor routine, very dynamic, you know, it's full with expressive, artistic and dance movement. I hope it's going to be something extra.
Well, a lot of people said that Mary Lou would be nervous going into this competition, but she doesn't seem that way. How do you explain that?
The pressure was unbelievable high, you know, because she's a defending champion third time actually, and she handled fantastically. One more time proved she's a great athlete, excellent athlete.
Well, I hope she does a great job, and I'm sure she will.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Good luck.
There's Mary Lou Retton. Remember what Bella Caroli said, make the girls stronger, then they'll jump higher, work them hard, and they'll perform better. That has been his motto, and it's worked for him in Romania. It's working for him in Houston. It's obviously worked for him with Mary Lou Retton.
Well, you know, all the gymnasts seem to want to travel to the meccas of gymnastics, to the Soviet Union, and to Romania, and to China, and to Japan, to find out what makes their gymnasts the best. It was great to see that when Bella came to the United States, the reason why his gymnasts are the best is because they work harder than everybody else. They don't have any magic tricks.
Mary Lou coming up in the floor exercise, but keep in mind we have Tim Daggett still to come in the horizontal bar, and on the line will be the all-round championship for the men here in the American Cup. Bella Caroli urging Mary Lou to settle down. So coming up, it'll be Tim Daggett on the horizontal bar to try to win it. But right now, Mary Lou Retton, and you'll hear the contrast in the musical selection she uses. As Bart Conner has pointed out, actually came from an Eastern European country, as opposed to the Texas style that we heard from Daniela.
Well, Mary Lou's routine was introduced last week for the first time, and a lot of people complimented the routine, and a lot of people said, hey, wait, I don't understand what she's trying to accomplish. So sit back and tell me what you think of it.
Okay.
Great, full in. Fantastic start. Two back handsprings to a tuck double back and nailed it. Okay, here's the finish. She's tumbling right at Bella. Nice double back.
You know it was a good one. The crowd here at Market Square Arena in Indianapolis has been treated to vintage Mary Lou Retton, who comes out for an encore here. Mary Lou Retton in her final appearance of the American Cup and her return to international competition.
Dick, I think one thing really great about Mary Lou's coming back and competing here is the public appreciates the fact that she's laying it on the line again. Notice here in the tumbling. Look at the speed. She barrels across that floor mat. Two backhands, full in, full in. The mount was fantastic. Almost hard to control all the power that she had. Okay, here's the last pass. The middle tumbling run. Round off. Two back handsprings, good takeoff. Perfect position on the landing. Right on top of her feet, hips in perfect position.
Here's how Bella reacted. Yesterday, he worked as hard as she did, didn't he? On the sidelines. Watching Mary Lou complete her performance, Bella Caroli, the great coach.
How could you not have confidence as a gymnast if you had a coach like that supporting you all the way?
And the score is in 9.825, and that's exactly what she got yesterday in the floor exercise. She'll take it. I'm surprised it will give Mary Lou Retton third consecutive American Cup championship. Only Kurt Thomas was able to win 3 in a row, and that was in the men's competition. And Mary Lou Retton has won 3 straight. Here is Tim Daggett, who needs a 9-7 to beat Yang Yueshan and capture the all-around, the horizontal bar. He had a perfect 10 to clinch the team title in the Olympics.
We're going to know what's going to happen right off the start. Here they come, the releases. Reverse hacked. Okay. Good giant spring out of the reverse hack. There's the ginger. Okay, right on top of it. Those are the tricks he had a little trouble with in the warm-ups, but he's right on it right now.
Boy, you boys this summer hang together, don't you? I can tell.
I'm feeling for him. My hands are sweaty. I hope his aren't. He looks great. Good speed on the giant. There is a full twisting layup on the back. Nailed the landing.
Tim Daggett. He may have won an all-around for the U.S. to cap a sweep here in Indianapolis in the American Cup. Yang Yueshan. Not too confident at this point. And his coach, Yuan Furman. Let's see some of this again.
Very good. Thanks, buddy. Okay,
we're going to wait for the score to see whether Tim Daggett, it's a 9-7, he's won it. Yesterday, he was third in the preliminaries behind Dan Hayden. Slightly disappointing, but today he has come in.
Okay, not bad. Why didn't go fine?
And it appears his score is 9.7, which will be good enough to give Tim Daggett the all-around championship.
7 will be good enough. We don't need any more. Okay.
We'll wait to see it posted. Yuan Furman, UCLA assistant coach, as elated as Tim Daggett is, from West Springfield, Massachusetts, the 22-year-old. And
you know, a lot of gymnasts like to play conservative when they get down to the final event. Just try to hang on to the lead or get the score that they need. 9.7. He laid it on the line, worked.
9.70. Tim Daggett. He's the all-round champion. What a treat for the fans here in Indianapolis. We saw some new faces from Romania, some old faces from China. Tim Daggett has won it, and let's take a look at the winning effort on the horizontal bar again.
Okay, here's the release move. Tkachev right out to the end of his fingertips in a perfect giant swing. There's the ginger, right out at full arm's length. You know, you want to be within 1 arm's length of the bar, but you don't want to be out on the end of your fingertips like Tim is. I think he made it just a little too scary for all of us. There's the inverted giant swings. That's a requirement. Hops back into back giants. Okay, now all he knows right here is I have to stick the landing. That's a very, very important element of routine. There it is, a full twisting layout double. Look for the floor. Boom.
That was Tim Daggett. Yang Yueshan, meanwhile, was busy videotaping Tim Daggett, the man he was tied with coming into this final rotation. He didn't have much of a reaction except to say that was pretty good, and he's going to look at the videotapes later, we're sure. Of course, a lot of foreign countries have done that. We're going to have the winners coming back. Interviews with both Tim Daggett and Mary Lou Retton when we come back to Indianapolis in just a moment. Here's a new face in the future of U.S. gymnastics. He was the second Olympic alternate. 20-year-old Dan Hayden from Amherst, New York, outside of Buffalo. A freshman at Arizona State, has a twin brother who also competes in gymnastics. He had a 9-4 yesterday, one of his two best events you're going to see in the high bar. And take a close look at Dan Hayden, because I think you're going to see him very much on the team in the future years.
One thing that we all appreciate about Dan's gymnastics is he's very, very clean. With the strict judging restrictions these days, you have to have perfect execution.
Yesterday, he came in ahead of Tim Daggett in the preliminaries, which of course were all wiped up coming into today. Yang Yueshan had the lead. He faltered today, but you're going to see him in his best event, what has been the horizontal bar.
Wait till you see this trick. It's a double flyaway over the bar. It was first done by a Bulgarian named Kovacs. Here's the speed. There it is, double over, right on top of it. Fantastic. Stalled or blind change. What a way to start exercise.
Dave Grossfeld, the men's Olympic coach, says he gets better every time he sees him. He's so focused in what he's doing.
Yes, he concentrates a great deal, and you'd have to be if you're doing those difficult skills. Look at the stalder. Nice extension. Okay, here's a double back over the bar with a full. Great exercise.
Dan Hayden, a freshman at Arizona State University. He and his brother both got a 9-9 on this event last week and tied for first at a collegiate.
Let's take a look at the release move here. Look at the double over the bar. He's looking for the bar. There it is. Perfect catch right into Giant's wings.
Earlier today, Dan Hayden, who, as we said, was second yesterday after the preliminaries and hopeful about today's performance, came a cropper here on the floor exercise. What happened, Bart?
He had a little trouble here in his double back. He got over rotation as he took off. He leaned back a little too much flip, and that cost him at least a half of a point. The bad thing about that was that took him right out of contention early. I think once he gets a little experience behind him, he'll be right back in there.
And the score for Dan Hayden on the horizontal bar, 9.90. That is the best score we have seen today in the men and women. What a way to finish for Dan Hayden. But we'll be back with Mary Lou Retton and Tim Daggett in just a moment. Gymnastics in Indianapolis, we have had a lot of action in the final moments here. Let's take a look at the standings as we have them in the men's competition. Tim Daggett, with a 9-7 on the horizontal bar, wins the men's competition all around. Yang Yueshan of China second and Koji Sotomura third. There were 8 finalists in all. In the women's competition, Mary Lou Retton was triumphant. She won her third consecutive championship. Yu Feng of China second, and young Daniela Silivas of Romania third. And right now, Peter Corman is with the men's champion, Tim Daggett. Pete?
Thank you, Dick. And Timmy, you did it, but it wasn't easy.
I tell you, it wasn't easy. The pressure, you know, it was tough, and I did 2 release skills. I had to make a quick improvisation there. I tell you, it was incredible. I did the first release. I was a little too far away. I did a giant swing and then did another release, but they were both fingertips, so I was a little nervous up there. I'm just really psyched about the whole competition. It was my first time back since the game. I'm going to go back in the gym and do some new things, and I'm just really looking forward to it.
Did you realize when you let go of the high bar to do that dismount that you had to stick it or you probably weren't going to win?
That's for sure. I felt the same thing in the Olympic Games, and I knew when I came down I couldn't move, and that's what I did, so I'm really psyched.
Well, you certainly have proved that now you're number 1. You're right up there. Won the American Cup. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Pete.
Thank you very much, Peter. Mary Lou will be coming up shortly. So Tim Daggett stayed on. He didn't retire. He had something to prove, and today he's proven something.
Mary Lou Retton, our women's champion, the incredible Mary Lou Retton. We haven't seen you compete in so long, and everybody said that you were going to be nervous. But were you nervous at all?
I wasn't at all. It's always that nervous twinge in your stomach, but that's your adrenaline going. I felt so confident out today. I had a better day than I did yesterday.
And how about that balance beam routine? Have you done one like that before?
I think that is the best beam I've ever done in my life. Seriously, my vault is usually good beam of floor, but my balance beam, that was what I'm the most happy about today.
Thank you very much, Mary Lou. Congratulations. That's the story from the floor. Back to you, Dick.
Thank you very much, Peter Corman. It's always great to see the smile on Mary Lou Retton's face. She's the women's all-around champion for the 3rd straight year. Tim Daggett wins it for the U.S. Our live coverage here is over in Indianapolis. And so, for Bart Connor and Peter Corman, this is Dick Stockton saying so long from Indianapolis, Indiana.
All right, thank you, Dick. Here we are again. College basketball scores. Let's go right to the scoreboard.